India, the world's largest democracy, stands at a crossroads. Its commitment to democratic values enshrined in its constitution faces serious challenges. The rise of divisive politics threatens the very fabric of Indian society. Minorities feel increasingly marginalized. Freedom of speech and the press are under attack. These are not just abstract concerns, they are the lived realities for millions of Indians. But amidst these challenges, a spirit of resistance flickers. It's a spirit fueled by hope, and it's being carried by ordinary citizens doing extraordinary things. This is the story of their fight, the fight for the soul of Indian democracy. In 2019, the Indian government passed the Citizenship Amendment Act, or CAA. This law offered a path to citizenship for persecuted religious minorities from neighboring countries, but it excluded Muslims. This exclusion was deeply troubling. It struck at the heart of India's secular identity. The CAA sparked outrage across India. People from all walks of life saw it for what it was: discriminatory and divisive. The government tried to downplay the concerns. They claimed it was a humanitarian act, but the people weren't fooled. They knew this was about marginalizing Muslims. The CAA became a symbol of a larger trend, a trend towards majoritarianism and intolerance, and the people decided to take a stand. Across India, people poured onto the streets. Students, teachers, artists, workers, and everyday citizens raised their voices. They came together in unprecedented numbers. The protests were largely peaceful. They were a testament to the enduring power of non-violent resistance. The government responded with force. Police used tear gas, water cannons, and brute force to disperse the crowds, but the people remained undeterred. They knew their rights, and they were willing to fight for them. The protests continued for months. They became a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope in dark times. One of the most remarkable things about the protests was their diversity. People from all the religions, castes, and backgrounds stood shoulder to shoulder. They understood that an attack on one was an attack on all. This unity was a powerful rebuke to the government's divisive agenda. It showed the world the true face of India, an India that embraces its diversity, an India where people are willing to fight for each other's rights. This unity was a source of hope. It showed that the government's attempts to divide the people had failed. It proved that the spirit of solidarity was alive and well. Section 5. Beyond the streets, hope in action. The protests were not just about marching and shouting slogans. They were about something much deeper. They were about reclaiming the idea of India, an India founded on the principles of equality, justice, and secularism. People organized teach-ins to educate others about the CAA and its implications. They distributed pamphlets and shared information online. Lawyers offered pro bono services to those arrested. Musicians and artists used their platforms to amplify the voices of dissent. This was hope in action. It was about turning despair into action. It was about believing that a better future was possible, and it was about working together to make that future a reality. Section 6. The audacity of hope in the face of adversity. The protests did not achieve their immediate goal. The government refused to repeal the CAA. But they were far from a failure. They showed the world that the spirit of Indian democracy was still alive. They inspired a new generation of activists, and they sent a clear message to the government that the people would not be silenced. This was the audacity of hope, to believe in a better future even when the odds are stacked against you. To raise your voice, even when you know it might not be enough, to keep fighting, even when you're tired and disillusioned, because that's what hope is all about. Section 7, 2024 and beyond, an uncertain future. As India moved on from the protests, the fight for democracy continued. The CAA remained a point of contention. The 2024 elections loomed large. The stakes were high. The future of Indian democracy hung in the balance. The people knew they had to remain vigilant. They had to hold their leaders accountable, and they had to keep fighting for the India they believed in. Section 8. The enduring spirit of Indian democracy. The story of the CAA protests is just one chapter in the long and complex history of Indian democracy. It's a story of hope and despair, of courage and resilience. It's a reminder that democracy is not a spectator sport. It's something that needs to be fought for and defended every single day. The fight for Indian democracy is far from over, but the spirit of the people remains unbroken. They know that the future of their country is in their hands, and they are ready to do whatever it takes to protect it. Section 9. A call to action, sustaining the fight for democracy. The protests against the CAA were a powerful reminder that democracy is a journey, not a destination. They were a call to action for all Indians, a call to stand up for what is right, to speak truth to power, to protect the rights of all citizens. The fight for Indian democracy is not just about Indians. It's about all of us. Because when one democracy is threatened, all democracies are threatened. So let us stand with the people of India. Let us support their struggle for a more just and equitable society. Let us never take our own democracies for granted, and let us never stop fighting for the world we want to live in.